everyone. My name is Gloria Romero. I am from Universidad Santiago de Chile. So greetings from the end of the world. I'm going to share with you the experience of creating a research community in Chile. So RISELT stands for Red de Investigación Chilena en ELT. It was founded in 2014 by 5 Chilean teachers pursuing their PhDs in the UK, Canada, and Chile. So one of them is myself. I was doing my PhD at the time at the University of Ottawa. And we presented at the IATEFL conference in Harrogate in the UK. And that was the first time we met. So we just started sharing ideas and talking about our PhD programs, our theses, etc. And in the conversations, we identified some issues. The main one is that locally produced research on ELT made in Chile was limited, scattered, and undervalued. Most of the published work was difficult to find and access, and this work was primarily, or still is, academically oriented. Also, the Chilean ELT community was in the hands of academics and international TESOL associations. So whenever there was an event where teachers would gather, that was organized by IATEFL Chile, TESOL Chile, or the British Council, but there wasn't a local organization doing some of these things. So after a lot of talking and discussing, we developed some main goals for this network. First would be to bring together Chilean ELT researchers from different experiences, background, domains, and affiliations. So what's important here is that everyone conducting research on ELT is included in this network. So we have pre-service teachers, school teachers, academics, and researchers. So in the Chilean programs, in undergraduate ELT programs, teachers or future teachers, they have to do thesis in most of the programs in the country. So that's why we wanted to include everyone doing ELT, Chilean research on ELT. We also wanted to promote locally created ELT knowledge, and for that we developed a database of all the published work on ELT made in Chile. We've been supporting researchers with participant recruitment. Also, whenever there is a new publication coming out, we notify the ELT community via social media. And we prepare a biannual conference where everyone doing research has a platform to showcase their work. And we've been kind of fighting for the participation of local researchers in plenary sessions. So normally when we have these seminars or conferences, we used to have a lot of these gurus from the global north presenting their work or telling Chilean teachers how to do things. So we've been encouraging institutions to have Chilean presenters to the plenary sessions. Another goal is to advocate for social responsibility. So our network has no membership fee. All the conferences are free for attendees and presenters as well. So the growth has been steady. We started in 2014 with 5 members, and so far we have 600 registered members and more than 1,000 followers on Facebook and 500 followers on Twitter. Our goal also is to differentiate from TESOL organizations from the global north with the presence in the global south. So that's why RISELT opted for a nonprofit agenda, and it's not affiliated to any institution, and it has a non-hierarchical, organic internal organization that I will explain a little bit later. So during our conversations, we also developed some of these ideas, and we realized that there were some theoretical constructs behind the work and initiatives that we've done. So we have Decentering TESOL that fosters local knowledge and is aware that methods and approaches developed in the global north are not transferable to the things that teachers do in Chilean classrooms. We've been using Kumarava Develop's practicality and particularity that also encourages the local expertise and the knowledge developed by local teachers in the language classroom. And of course, communities of practice where starting from a small group, we've been able to sustain this community for 10 years in time. So I'm going to share with you some milestones and challenges that we've experienced through RISEL's life. As I said before, we have 5 committee members that started the network, and now we have 4 new members that have joined. All the work that we do is volunteer, so it's a challenge that I'll tell you a bit later. So the milestones I'll share with you emerge from the numerous meetings, conversations, and reflections that we've had so far in these 10 years. So one of the main things is empowering local voices in Chilean ELT research. So it's well known that the knowledge created and produced by TESOL researchers is miles away from what teachers need and do in their everyday practices in the classroom. So that's why RISET is formed by academics, researchers, in-service and student teachers, because we believe that all that knowledge is valuable and needs to have a space and a platform and a voice. So locally, RISEL seeks to empower researchers from all affiliations, problematize the centrality of second language knowledge creation in the hands of a few, and that's mainly academics, especially in the Chilean context, and challenge knowledge that rolls down from academia to the regular language classroom, so as to be able to create a nexus between all these actors and voices that are researching ELT in our country. On advocacy and social responsibility ideas, we have that whenever there are conferences, teachers have to pay fees. They also have to pay fees, for example, to access research. So all these high paywalls act as gatekeepers to the Chilean community. We also have, and we are very aware that the Chilean education and social system in general is very neoliberal. There is a lot of inequality in education between, for example, teachers working in the private sector and public sector. And in the public sector, teachers have a lot of problems, a lot of pay. For example, they receive less money than private school teachers. They have more workload, so the conditions are not very appropriate. So that's why we opted for a nonprofit agenda to mark a difference between TESOL organizations. And we decided to keep all the events and all the things we do free for all attendees and presenters, no matter their affiliation, because sometimes you find these conferences where you have a fee for students, a fee for attendees, or sometimes you have to become a member just to be able to present. So we wanted to have everything open access to everyone. So as we are not part of any attached to any private or public institution, we don't receive any funds or income. So that's a challenge at the moment of creating more events and initiatives for the ELT community. Now, as for decentering, the decentering aspects, so we kind of managed to decenter the network at 2 levels. So at a macro level, we are trying to showcase and disseminate local knowledge. So that's why we have a database of publications by Chilean researchers with a cutoff date of 2000, and that's on our website. So you can find the list of all the people who are doing research, what's their publication, where it's published, etc. And to achieve the goal of inclusivity, we also have included all the work and the research done by undergraduate and graduate students and also teachers. So they have a platform on our website where they can post their theses, their presentations, their projects, etc. And everything is accessible through the platform, so anyone can go there and see what's happening, what researchers are doing. At a micro level, We have also challenged the centrality of hierarchical governance. So we don't have a hierarchy that is not a president or a secretary. We work organically in a democratic way. So whenever there are ideas, these are discussed among the committee members. Anyone can bring an idea, and these are consulted and voted. And some of the initiatives are also sent out online or via social media, and the members of the community can also vote and have an opinion on whatever initiative we want to start. So in terms of practicality and of the initiatives, these are the things that we've been doing so far. So we've have a biannual conference free of charge where Chilean researchers present their work, and it's been growing in time. In 2015, we did the first one, and we had 151 participants, and that increased in 2017, and we had the last one yesterday, so we had 211 people participating in the conference. Last year, we launched a podcast called Teachers for Teachers, where it's a series of eight podcasts where teacher researchers, like school teachers, they present their research and they give tips and opinions on how to conduct this action research in the classroom. We also launched the infographics project, and we received funding from the Hornby Educational Trust Fund from the British Council. And we created 5 infographics designed to make research accessible and with an easy language and familiar to English teachers. So the idea is that we formed groups with academic school teachers and pre-service teachers. They kind of brought down research, published research, and then the school teachers were in charge of getting all those results from research and connect that to the Chilean classroom. So it was a very interesting collaborative experience. We've also done academic writing publication project in which we gather with new researchers and try to help them publish their work. We also have a master's conference for new researchers, and we do this outside the metropolitan region because the biannual conference is done in Santiago, but we try to do the other one outside Santiago. And we have a newsletter that comes out twice a year. So in this experience, we have some sweet and sour experiences. So the sweet points are that the success of the network has been the shift from a group of people, just 5 people, to this big community with a common interest, or the initiatives are the results of hours of engagement, conversation, and discussion for these 10 years. So we're trying to gather the community under the same roof. And some of the challenges have been the cost of volunteering. So it's been difficult for us to renew the members because you really need to be committed to meet twice a month for 2 hours, or if we are organizing events, we need to meet much more. So there is a conflict there with the lack of time that we all have. We have responsibilities with our families, with our works. So it's been hard to manage that and to have more people committed to the same kind of work. The working conditions of school teachers and the Chilean university system also has been an obstacle to have new members because school teachers don't have the time to meet. And university teachers, they are restricted by the strong focus that universities have on publications. So there is a tension between what academics need to do to get points at the university and notoriety needed in academia. And in RISELS, we work in a different way where people don't really know who's behind the network. And the cost of distance, because we've been working online for 10 years, so people are still located in different parts of the world. And it's been hard to find convenient times to meet and work. So sometimes the motivation goes down a little bit. So future directions for our network, especially yesterday that we had the biannual conference, we had a conversation with the people that attended the conference, and it's important that we renew the membership. We have more new members joining the Central Committee, engage in more public and private partnerships and institutional collaboration. And we're trying also to enhance the connection between teachers and researchers and seek more opportunities for funding. So,
thank you. Yeah, just so
thank
she could start to wrap up the presentation. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gloria, for the very interesting presentation.